Randy, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourselves?
Pretty good,
Hi,
pretty good.
Randy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Nice
meet
to
you,
meet
Ray.
you. Tell us a couple of words about yourself.
Oh, I'm a consultant in IT. Focusing sort of the process. I consider myself a process person. So project management, the whole
Good.
agile
Perfect.
thing. Yeah, I'm looking very forward to this.
This is incredible,
Yeah.
incredible.
All right. So, Randy, maybe you could be the first tester to see if you can get into Mural. We're going to use Mural tonight, and you when you click on that link in the chat, you will enter as a visitor. When it says visitor, you just click visitor. Yes.
Let me find chat. I found people. Let me find chat.
It is to the right, to the extreme right bottom of your screen. There's like a little voice icon there. To the right of the people on the bottom right, it says chat with everybody.
I don't have a chat with everybody. I have a people, and then I do have a chat with everybody. And I see something.
Yeah, right there.
It's like people little icon, and right next to it, on your right.
Yeah, I don't see anything where I can join.
No, you can say you can mouse over it, and you will see chat with everyone.
Yep.
And
Click
click in
on it,
there.
and you will see it.
I clicked on it and I see, yeah, enter as a visitor, but there's nothing to
Above it, you don't see a link above it? No?
no, I don't.
Okay, let's send that link out again.
Obviously, nothing will be visible. Hey, Frederick, nice to see you.
I thought Google would have fixed that.
No, Google doesn't want to fix anything.
Oh, look at that. Now I see a link.
Yes, absolutely. And
And
see, it's like a WhatsApp group. Hey, Frederick.
As a visitor.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Enter as a I like it.
Yes, I am in.
Show myself.
Oh, yeah, I can see it. Good. And once you're in, just click on the blue green icon that says RC. That's me. You're following me, and then you'll be able to see my screen every time.
Oh my God! I need to shave. We turn it back off.
No, that's perfectly fine. This is a perfect portrait of a real agilist, right? Who don't care about output, care about outcome only.
That's right. We don't care about output.
Yes.
All right, let me get out of this noisy room. All right, bro, appreciate it. If you get a hard time or something, yeah, man. If you get a hard time or something, I understand. All right.
Raymond, I think you will need post it and post it again and post it again.
Okay.
Hey, look at this. Look at this. Steve Kelly.
Let me post it again for those who are joining late.
Hey, brother Steve. I love to see you again.
Hey guys.
Hi, Steve.
Steve, do you remember Raymond? My buddy Raymond. I will pin him to everyone. So
Man,
he's number one presenter
right
today.
out of my hand. Oh God. Yeah,
Frederick,
Enter.
I'm gonna mute you for a minute.
to us or to somebody else?
a visitor. Yeah, so we got the Mural link in the chat. If you can click on that app, the Mural app link, and then when you get to that link, it'll say, "Do you want to go in as a guest and say, or as a visitor and say yes, visitor."
How you doing, Slava? I haven't seen you for ages.
Oh yeah, there's Slava.
Yes. And Nisa Joy.
Hi, how are you? First
How you
time
doing?
caller, I guess.
Yes.
Hi, Lisa.
Where are you
Nice
joining
to meet
from?
you.
I'm in Brooklyn, New York.
Wow, neighbor. I'm in Brooklyn,
Yeah.
New York,
Yeah. I'm in Williamsburg.
Williamsburg, and I'm in Seagate.
Oh, okay. I don't know Seagate. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, Seagate is past Coney Island, so piece
Oh
okay.
wow. Past Coney Island? I thought Coney Island was the end.
No, that's a mistake. People believe that Agile is the end. Agile is the beginning.
Got you.
So for those of you joining late, just click on
I'm here.
The chat
I'm here.
the chat screen there, the chat button on the bottom right, and you'll see a link to Mural. And please click on Mural, and then when you click on Mural, it'll ask if you want to come in as a visitor, and say yes, I want to come in as a visitor.
Excuse me, Raymond. I see three, 1, 2, 3. I see 3 posts or 3 links in the chat. Are they all the same?
We're all the same. Yes. Thanks
Okay.
for calling that out. Thank you.
See, Frederick, you're one of the earliest folks who came first, and then we need to ask Raymond to repost it and repost it again, because unfortunately, Google Meet is not sharing this. And Masha is joining. Awesome, Masha, love to see you here. So Raymond, can you repost it again for Masha?
Sure. And it says directly in the in-call messages, you can pin a message to make it visible for people who join later.
Yeah,
I
but
keep doing that, but it's not doing anything.
but how?
I mean, I did see the message that said pinned, but there was nothing pinned. So at least they got the pin part right.
There's something here. Let me just send that.
All right, guys. First of all, thank you so much for joining. It's 6:05 in Eastern Standard, and let us start. Get the ball rolling. If somebody doesn't know me, right? My name is Vadim, and I'm an Agile coach. I know some of you folks, like Raymond and Steve and Slavik and Masha. We all know each other for a pretty long time, right? But we have few new folks, like Nisa Joy, Randy, Frederick. We love to see you. Please come over again and again and bring friends. Let's have fun and let's learn something from here. So today, myself and Raymond, we get together, and Raymond became the host, the performer on the stage, and I'm just helping him out. There's something very exciting going on in how can we all use AI for agile transformation. That's like main question. So many of us keep working in agile transformation in different capacity in different companies, right? And we all heard a lot about using AI, and we start practicing. Many of us, purchase even chat GPT license, and I found lately that 70% of my document related work I'm doing together with chat GPT. So chat GPT is my buddy and my co-pilot. I used to be very much related on Gemini.Google. I start comparing them, and I said, forget about Gemini. So first question is, we would like to ask you guys.
Oh, let's make sure. Frederick, are you okay? I see you raise your hand.
Okay.
Just wanted to know if this session is going to be recorded and accessible. Yes. Okay, thanks.
Yes, and we will publish recording.
Okay, perfect.
We will tell everybody from Meetup.com. If you get yourself registered on Meetup, we will publish this recording and give you a link.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for reminding this, Frederick. Is actually very good.
Yeah, so don't be careful what you say here.
This is awesome. So, if it's okay, Raymond, let's start with this little.
Yeah. Yeah. So welcome everybody. My name is Raymond Chung, and co-presenting with my colleague here, Vadim. And I wanted to be a bit controversial and provocative, and that's why you see on the screen there, evolving Agile. I thought maybe, hey, maybe Agile's moving on, because I'm seeing all these blogs around, Agile's dead, and and the fact of the matter is that Agile is still alive and will continue to be alive even after we're all gone. So, right, we are simply discovering new ways of working, and that's really what the core message is that we can glean from the Agile Manifesto. So I'm a lean Agile coach. I'm focused on value co-creation, product and AI transformation in the workplace. I focus on Agile HR transformation and how these ultimately impact business agility and the human experience in the enterprise. And I'm so happy and humbled to be here to be able to share what we know about this area. So we're going to be talking today about leveraging AI for better results. And by the way,
sorry to interrupt you. Let's probably jump on this little graph which we created together with you on Mentimeter.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. You want to do that right now?
Yes. Let me do it. It's going to be a good starting point. Okay. So guys, take a look at the chat again, and you will see another link. So we will keep you these links, keep you up and running, right? And this is a link for Mentimeter. So let me share my screen for a second. Can you see my screen, guys? So now you will click on the last link, not on the first link, second, right, or fourth, from Raymond. You click on the one from me. And we would like to ask you to move this three different dots. What is your experience and what is your interest in AI in general, in ChatGPT in particular, in Google Notebook, LLM?
Where's your bed? No, this is my bed.
No, guys, if you're not speaking, can you please mute? Thank you. So we can see that one person is, already answered. We need all of you guys to answer. Yeah. Okay, second person is answered. Third person.
And I think we meant Chat GPT rather than Chap GT.
Yes. It's that's another test. If only Raymond can see this misspell, it means that nobody cares.
That's right.
But if everybody can see it, that means that, hey, it's active listening and reading.
Yeah,
and I'm not the way our brain works. Most people do not see misspelling, so there are a very small group of people like Raymond who see misspellings.
Yeah. And I'm not being kind to my partner by making him look better.
No, I'm fine. Only this. I clean it out. This couple.
Okay, so how many people we have all together? So do we have 8 people, right, in the session? Me and Raymond, we are not participating in this little exercise, but all the rest, I guess, done with answers. Guys, let's take a look at it. So we are in this left upper square. So we have very high interest, but we don't have a lot of experience.
And that's great. Yay!
And it's actually awesome. Thank you. I stop sharing.
Okay.
And we have another person joining. So please, if it's possible, Raymond, share your link to the board once again.
Sure.
Oh, actually, we have much more people than 8 people. Now we have 12. Incredible. Like it. And once again, welcome everyone. We have Vlad, Zach. Oh, our old buddy Zach.
So yeah, if I can share my screen again, can you see my screen again?
Not yet.
Not yet. Here, let me-
We are all excited and ready to see it, but we cannot see it.
all right, let me share.
Not yet. Hey, buddy. Hey there, Steve.
Hello.
Hello, hello, guys.
I was sharing a minute ago. Let's see what's happening here.
And we have Siona Patki join. Siona, welcome. Welcome to our family. Where are you joining from?
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, USA.
Wonderful. And what is your role?
I'm an Agile coach, Scrum Master, both.
Beautiful. Welcome, welcome to the meetup. Okay.
I'm sorry, do you want us to put in the chat where we're from and our,
That would be wonderful if you guys can share your LinkedIn profile in the chat. My LinkedIn profile.
and where we're from?
Yes, and what is your role? Three
And the role.
major questions. So let's get connected. We're building a crazy agilist family here.
And do you see my screen again, Vadim, or no?
Not yet.
Yeah, not sure what's going on.
You can stop sharing and then start sharing again.
Okay. It seems to have paused or something on me.
Hey, Randy, thank you for sharing your LinkedIn profile. I'm going to get connected with you like in a second.
Okay. Here we go again. It's a delay issue.
Uh,
Don't make sure I don't unshare again next time. All right. So we're going to go through some AI basics, align AI with agile values, some practical applications of how different roles are using this, and look at some risks, and also give you.
hello, hello. Brother Raymond, where are you?
Raymond, your
Not hear
video, your audio got off.
Raymond Sadio, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can see him, but we can't hear him.
See, technology is not helping us today. No, we cannot hear you, which is okay. So I can pick it up until Raymond would be able to share. Raymond, probably you would like to, me to share the screen, and I can do it definitely. Right. Let me make it a little bigger. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Raymond.
Okay, now I should be back.
Oh, yes, you are
Oh my
back.
God.
I'm about to share. If you would like me to share, I can do it.
No, let me continue sharing with what I have. All right.
Beautiful, beautiful. Go ahead.
So hopefully you can see my disclaimer, our disclaimer, I should say. We're not AI
I
experts.
cannot see anything,
No?
no, it's actually not shareable yet.
How about now? If not, if you go into can't share your screen. Oh, okay.
So
If
let me
you-
share, and then you keep trying. If you will kick me out, I will be happy.
Okay, you share then, and I will just continue on my screen. Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. And you just tell me.
Yeah. I'm
What you would
on
like.
number 2. Yeah.
Let's go to disclaimer, guys.
Yeah.
By the way, you not all of you, but some of you already joined. I can see Panda, Lion, and then all of a sudden between Panda and Lion,
Welcome.
there's a Slavic, and then Frederick, and then me join as a shrimp. Crazy Coach Vadim, as a shrimp.
So
Here.
Vadim, is it on the? Are we sharing now? I'm not seeing where we are, but anyway. So if those of
We
you
are sharing. We are sharing
Okay,
disclaimer.
oh, great. Okay. So those of you, if you see at the bottom of the mural, it says RC. It's a blue-green button. Just click on that, and you'll never lose where I am. Okay. So just click on that. All right. You still there, right?
Yes,
So
and
again,
it
this is
says we
our
are following Raymond
okay.
Cheong.
Okay, great.
So we are just following.
So we hope to make this a sharing session. It's what we've learned so far. And again, we hope that you'll put some of this stuff into practice right away after this meeting. That's the hope, so that you can share it with others and also put it into practice for yourself and share it with your colleagues and your team. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Number 4. Number 4, yeah.
Beautiful. Artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, ML.
So I want to make this as succinct as possible for people who are just learning about AI for the first time and how this all works, okay? So I try to simplify it, and hopefully this will make sense. And you let me know if it doesn't. So artificial intelligence, that's AI, that's what AI stands for, is really simulating human intelligence. And that's why it's artificial. And it's simulating something that matches or exceeds human intelligence. So anything that we can learn, infer, or reason with. And it's a general term being used to apply to robotics or anything that appears to be simulating human intelligence. And really, AI has been around since the 1950s and even before then. Now, it's a general, term at the end of the day, but it has a lot of subsets. And this is where it gets a little bit more complex. So underneath the umbrella of artificial intelligence is this term called ML, or machine learning. And machine learning is like pattern recognition, right? So the machine learns by these patterns that you see on the screen there, diamond, rectangle, circle, diamond, and so forth. And then if it runs into an outlier, oh, nope, that doesn't belong there, right? And then it lets you know, right? So an example of what machine learning looks like today is spam filtering, for example. We all have that problem, right? Cybersecurity, where the spam is being filtered in your inbox. So that's what machine learning is. It's very pattern recognition oriented. And then a subset of that is something called deep learning, or DL. And deep learning is trying to mimic the human brain. It's trying to mimic the neural networks. And that's why there's this term called NN, or neural networks, that is being used in this space. And sometimes it's not predictable. You can put stuff in to this deep learning space, but it may not come back exactly the way you were expecting, right? So it's not as clean and clear cut because it has to go through multiple layers of information and filters before it can get that information. And who knows what's going to come out of it. And then if you dive deeper in, a further subset of that is foundational models. And this is where Gen AI actually resides, right? So a foundational model is a broad AI sort of model, and it's trained on massive data, right? Across multiple domains and multiple modes for text and image and video and audio. And they're basically very generalized, right? Very, very broad in terms of scope. And OpenAI and Anthropic and Meta are examples of foundational models. These are broad models. Now, the models can become more specific in terms of scope. And so a large language model, which is a type of foundational model, is focused on language tasks, right? So text generation, summarization, and translations. And ChatGPT is an LLM. Okay, you've probably heard of ChatGPT before. And then Gen AI, the space that's really got everybody excited, is a broader category of AI, and it focuses on generating new content based on text and images and music and code. And it uses a combination of these things, right? Uses foundational models. It might include LLMs. It might even include machine learning, some deep learning as well, right? To give you this rich experience of using natural language as you put in prompts and that kind of stuff, right? And then Vadim, this is the one that you were focusing on, this next one, the agent stuff, right? The agent AI, right?
Right.
This is designed this is the next layer that's been very popular right now, designed to autonomously make decisions based on natural language. So you can say, talk to Jira, connect into Slack, pull this data down, create all this stuff, and say it all in plain English, and it's going to go and run off and do all this stuff for you and create this for you in plain English. Just think of the power of what that does. So, Vadim, what do you want to share with that?
Yes, I recently found about this next generation of AI development called Agent AI, and I keep asking developers and experienced guys, like, what exactly, how you can imagine what is a Agent AI, and many of them saying that, hey, imagine it's a virtual human. I said, hold on, all AI is like virtual human, but no. This guys is like you're asking particular virtual human to do set of tasks. Then you can ask another one to do different set of tasks, and it's all will be like 50 different agents doing 50 different tasks, and then you can create level 2 agent AI, a manager. And you can manage the managers, right? And you can do things like, you can start creating entire platform.
Yeah.
And it's like, see, I call it prompt engineer idea, right? Now you can even find a job as a prompt engineer. And one of this experts a couple of days ago said, on our practice meeting, said that, hey guys, if you're an agilist, you're in the future, because you can understand the process and you can be a prompt engineer. You can practically ask different electronic programmers to build code for you and to start testing and deploy it for you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But you need to be this choir director of this amazing orchestra, right? It's another skill, it's another art. It's not straightforward.
Mm-hmm. And so if you go into the next slide, Vadim, exactly what you're talking about, right? How do we interact with AI, right? In this prompting way, right? So there's some concern right now about AI going off the rails and causing havoc in the world, right? In people's lives. And Gen AI, you can think of Gen AI as a magician. It's great at creating content and insights and tremendous connection to knowledge because of a vast connection to neural networks. So you can think of it as your super smart capability, and it's a robot, okay? Versus you. You have a unique human touch. You're intuitive. You have this deep emotional empathy, and you're helping people decide, what they need and what they want, and you can differentiate those differences, right? And as a result, you're much better at complex decision making. All right. And you emit these mirror neurons in conversations, and people pick up on these things, right? So the machine can't do that. Machines can't express love, not yet anyway, right? So what could emerge here is what we call this connection or feedback loop between human and machine, between Agile team and AI as a member of your team, right?
Got a
That
question.
we influence each other for the better, making each other smarter and making the systems that we live in work in better. Go ahead.
Yep, I had a question. I have several questions, so I guess we should be putting our questions in the chat. But if you could just answer this first one, going back to your previous diagram and schematic about where things are placed.
Yeah.
My question is, where would you put concepts like computer vision, which is a major component of AI? I know because I studied it in the 80s.
Yes.
Where would you put computer vision? Where would you put natural language processing? And also, did I say computer vision?
Yeah. Yeah.
Computer vision. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And because I know those are some components of AI. Would you add them to your diagram, or would they be
they actually belong. They actually belong on the foundational model level in that space, because in the foundational model level, it's all encompassing. It's
Okay.
generalized enough to include all those things, right? And then what we're seeing is this refinement of, okay, how can we make this thing more specific to this kind of function? And so you have things like health AI and legal AI and all these other models of, so maybe there's one on visual and the video AI, for example, that starts to move to the right of that foundational model, right? And becoming much more autonomous in its delivery, in its outcome, in its purpose, right? Which is really blowing me away, when we think about it in that manner. So just think of how we progress from the 80s all the way through. Yeah.
real quickly, would the term robotics, would that be part of the diagram, or is that is that out of scope?
Robotics is part of artificial intelligence. And so you can have a robotic foundational model, and then you have like refinements of those in the areas of, maybe I want to do robotics within an LLM or within generative AI or in the agent AI. Okay. So it's this refinement of what it's, of getting so much closer to what we are capable of being as humans, right? The super robot capability.
I would like to start on top what Raymond just said and illustrate it a little bit. This deep learning layer, it says 2010, right? But in fact, all of this milestones kind of, right? It's when, let's say, deep learning became real popular.
Yeah.
Right. And people start paying a lot of attention. But when I was PhD student at Rutgers, right, I came to computer science, and I was helping my PhD students, my buddies in IT. I was in biology, by explaining them how brain physiology works, right? And I said that, guys, why do you need this? You are silly programmers. You don't need this. I said, hold on a minute. Take a look at what we are doing. They were building an exact picture of human neuron system network, and they start training them. So it's like node by node, and this communication, pretty complicated communication between one node and another node, based on simple physiology and human brain, right? And all of a sudden, in a few months of this amazing work, they start giving this little network, and it was 1992, guys. It wasn't like 2010. Can you imagine how long ago? Right? In 1992, my friend was able to go and get his master's degree, not even PhD, master's degree in computer science and biomedical engineering, right? By proving that he can train this kind of network with the medical data of different picture of, of human being eye, and then base some diagnosis, right, based on this picture and different patterns. That was amazing. I was really speechless.
Well, it gets better. So
And it's 1992. So imagine what happened in 2025.
Yeah. So thanks for that,
Let's
Vadim.
go here.
Yeah, let's go on to number 6. So
Number
keeping with this human-centered approach is where we can control this danger, this risk of AI going off the rails, right, and causing havoc. And this is where I think agility really starts to shine, because you probably heard of things like responsible AI, and we'll talk about that later. But um, that's why we need the human in the loop. You've probably heard your leaders say, right? And so if the use of AI, can align nicely with AI values and principles, and AI is neither good nor bad. Its value depends on how you apply it, right? So we all know these 4 values really well: individuals, interactions, right? Over promises, over processes and tools, and we prioritize that over processes and tools, because here AI can enhance collaboration by automating repetitive tasks that people are doing today, freeing up team members and yourselves to focus on more meaningful, high-value stuff. There's also AI-powered analytics here that can provide real-time insights into team dynamics, helping Scrum Masters and leaders facilitate better communication and resolve conflicts. And chatbots and AI-driven assistants, supporting team members by answering questions, summarizing discussions, and tracking progress. And we're doing this today in this meeting. There's a summarization going on here, but with the AI client behind the scenes, right? Without imposing any kind of rigid process. It's pretty, working behind the scenes. Working solutions, over comprehensive documentation. So AI is accelerating software development through tools like Copilot, which you've heard about, automating coding, debugging, testing, reducing the time spent on documentation, and increasing delivery speed. Just think about that. AI-driven test automation is ensuring continuous integration and delivery, allowing teams to build on building working software rather than maintaining extensive documentation. And AI-powered predictive insights analytics, right? Helping teams to identify potential roadblocks early and often, ensuring software remains functional and relevant, right? So like sprint forecasting, for example, or sprint burn down risk prediction, or adaptive planning, or automated recommendations. Oh, this story's too big. What about what if scenarios on in terms of impact of my change? How long is it going to take us to do that? Yeah, I can do that for us. So all these things that used to take time, right, can be done very, very quickly. And customer collaboration, that's prioritized over contract negotiation. AI can provide insights through analytics, fostering better collaboration with customer engagement, analyzing feedback for the customers, for the product owners, identifying trends, predicting user needs, allowing teams to respond more effectively to evolving requirements, right? Think of all that work that the product owners, the product managers are running around. We have no time. I've got to run from one meeting to the other. Now you can get the technology to work for them, right? AI-driven sentiment analysis, chatbots, and virtual assistants to improve customer support. Those are happening already, providing immediate responses rather than delayed responses. So that, and responding to change, of course, our favorite. Responding to change, AI supporting adaptive planning by analyzing market trends and forecasting changes, and providing data-driven recommendations, allowing teams to pivot quickly so you can respond to change. And I put a note in here for myself that, it's really gearing us up for exponential, real-time change. So we used to say that, you're not going to put that change in because Scrum says every 2 weeks we can't put changes in. We got to hold to that discipline, right? But what if AI could do real-time changes for you? And what if you could pivot in a 2-week sprint? Isn't that amazing? So I want to pause there for a second. Am I still with you so far?
Yes, but Raymond, starting
Yeah.
from 2020, in 2020 Scrum Guide, Scrum became more adaptable, so we don't have to wait 2 weeks anymore. We don't have to wait for sprint to end. We
Right.
can customize sprint, and we don't have to actually wait until end of the sprint to do retro. We can
Mhm.
do it in a stand-up.
Yes.
Retro.
Yes. Yeah. And now with AI as your friend, just think of the possibilities, right? Yeah.
Guys, can you think, Raymond paint a picture here for each, like 4 domains, 4 values of Agile Manifesto. Can you come up with some example? I can share one example for interactions, especially during some kind of virtual lectures, right? It still blew up my mind, right? I was talking to one AI company in Eastern Europe, by the way, company who became American now. And what they're doing, they're simply taking vitals from the audience, like pulse, like blood pressure, and some parameters, how your eye reacts, right?
Mhm.
And by reading this, you can immediately say that, hey, let's say, they're using it not for human interaction, but I would like to see it for human interaction, especially lecture and professor, let's say, right? Audience and professor during lecture. And what AI is doing, analyzing this current of data in real time and giving real picture. Let's say, they try this AI platform against video marketing, like little video shorts, right? And all of a sudden, audience of 100 people said that, we get excited for first second, second, 4 second, and second 5, we lost excitement. Nobody with human ability can analyze it. But this AI tool says that, hey, on second number 5, people lost interest. So change it, right? And now, if they will create another version of the same tool, they will be able to offer it for high quality human interaction. That's what I saw, and I'm still under shock about it, right? Can you guys give examples, not necessarily with names, but what exactly have you seen, what you found on like tools to generate working system, or this AI provides insight through analysis, fostering better collaboration? What exactly, where can we see and touch this kind of tools? Any examples, guys?
So this is the kind of.
Can you repeat the question again, please?
Yeah.
Sure. Raymond just gives this slide, right, with 4 major Agile values: individuals and interactions, working solution, customer collaboration, responding to change, right? This is a major Agile values. We all know this. It's like very basic. Now, he said that, hey, AI enhanced communication, allowing for high quality human interaction. Any example? I just shared my example. I don't even remember the name of the company, but I can come up with. But it's not a free solution. They offer it for good money, but it exists, right? What about AI tools help generate working system? Give me example. If you get across.
If I understand correctly, so AI help for example, for sales, for customer, like to be more fast with interaction with the people. When you comes to a new platform, one AI tool can interact with 2,000 customer at the same time. So it's much faster to repeat to customer to give the solution and to collect the feedback. So I know we see this on the different sales platforms that you wanted to buy something. You see the AI tool connect with you, and not a person.
Mhm.
Like I saw a lot of. So if this is my like example.
Awesome. Do you remember anything about name? Who is making this platform? Anything we can?
I have a lot of name, and I actually pass this week a good course how to create all platform, but I'm just not with my computer. So.
Oh, okay. So probably you can after the session you can share this with us.
Okay. All right. So think about that. Let's move on. Number 7.
Yeah, how we are doing with the time box? It's
Well,
6:43 in Eastern Standard,
yeah.
and we promised to wrap it up at 7:30. So we
That's
we
right.
are in the middle.
We need to keep on moving. Okay, good. So guess what, guys? Hopefully you're convinced, if you aren't there yet, that you don't want to go backwards, right? We don't want to go backwards to waterfall. Not that waterfall is bad. It had its purpose. It has its purpose. It still has its purpose in some domains, but maybe it's not going to help us in the future, right? So to stretch and grow with more high valued work is more pulling, right? And let AI handle all the routine work is what I'm thinking. So love to hear your thinking on that. As you think about how AI becomes a member of your team now, enabling the team's agility. Okay. And if we go on to the next slide, this is the area that I'm kind of focused in right now. You might want to ask, well, how might we remove waste and waiting times in the value streams? So think of how AI is going to do those routine tasks. It's going to collect and tell you how long you're spending here and how long you're spending there, and where's your bottleneck happening, a lot of stuff, which would have taken us ages to figure out, right? As Agile coaches and Scrum Masters, right? And development leads and product folks waiting in that space. And so to think about all that waste being pulled out, the waiting time being pulled out, and the collaboration getting better, right? Because now we're interacting more directly with each other. So the communication is going to improve, the time is going to improve, the minimization of waste is going to improve, right? And think of that working across all the value streams in the system in your company. What an amazing impact that can have, right? That's the power of speed, speed to decisioning coming out when we take out those gaps in waiting times and waste, right? To enable, because we're trying to get that outcome into the marketplace, that output into the marketplace, so we can get that response from our customers to say, this is great, this is fantastic. And if we can do it really quickly and beat the competition in doing so, wow, that's just amazing. So let's look at some use cases now. This is where it gets really kind of neat.
I got a question right here. Probably on next use cases you will show this more. But let's say we have a startup company, right?
Yeah.
And it's always a fight to get a pure vision, right? Probably 10 people are running it and investing in it, right? And we have 10 visions. We need one vision. What is the product? So how can AI can help us in building a vision?
that's the content in the next slide.
Let's go to next slide, guys.
So yeah, how can we pull together this vision statement that would excite people? I mean, have you ever seen an inspirational vision statement lately? Very hard for people to do, right? It's very time consuming, and a lot of people are they just don't want to spend the time doing it. But as Agile coaches, we know that if we can inspire people, right, to do more, they will do more. If we can inspire them, appeal to their intrinsic motivation, there's something there to be said. So in this particular example or use case, this one here is about creating a casting vision for a team, right? So if you take that prompt that you see on the screen there, There's a description of my business below. Can you please write a narration-based vision for it with as much punch and meaning as the classic day one letter written by Jeff Bezos about Amazon? The vision statement should maintain action-oriented language and punch. And then you describe what your product is. Could be any crazy idea you have. You know, create for me, a cup that is, reminds me when to drink or something. I don't know, right? And then put that all into ChatGPT, and you'll be amazed at what you get back from that. So try that if you are a product manager or you know of product management leaders that are trying to come up with statements that are that resonate with people, inspire people. But you want the assistance of the AI, and you can use that to tweak that, right? To tweak that inspiration for people. Any thoughts on that?
Can we do this exercise right now?
Oh yeah, we can. Yeah. So if you want to copy that into or write that into ChatGPT, if you have access to ChatGPT, let me see if I can copy that into the chat so that people can get it.
Yeah, this is as a picture. I don't think you can easily do this, but I have this ChatGPT under my fingerprints right here, right? And we can say something like,
Can you ask it to create a glass of bourbon that never ends? Like every
Sure.
time you drink it, is gonna be filled again.
I love that. You might be surprised what it tells you, Slava. So I put the prompt there in the chat for you to experiment with and see what you get. If anybody wants to share their results, that'd be great.
absolutely right. I'm just
You
typing
want to
my
copy that in there? You can copy that in there, Vadim. Yeah.
I'm just thinking that, hey, write a vision on a product. Let's say, I would like to create Amazon competitor, right?
So I love the way you're testing it. You're putting in what you would normally write or something, right?
Right.
Test
I'm
that
just
output and then test this one and see what you get. Yeah.
I just did a one-liner and it's giving me this whole, like it's still going.
Isn't that amazing? What do you
It's
think
like,
of it? Yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Isn't it
It's like,
crazy?
yeah. Well, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs.
Yeah.
And all I said is like, I would like to create a company that's like a dating app for jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the kind of dilemma we're going to be running into, right? Whereby the quality of the prompt, right, is really, really, really important. Now, having said that, there are other engines or other LMs where they're actually creating prompts that you can use, right? But at the end of the day, just think about it. Think of all the experience you've had to date, right, in building your career and growing as a person, right? The experience that you have, that you've gained, this is where you start to see dividends when you key in a prompt based on the experience you've had. For folks who have not had this experience, it's going to be less appealing perhaps because they haven't had the experience that you've had, or to ask the question that you've had or seen or experienced, right? And this is where it really becomes important to look at the people who've been in the industry as well, to use their wisdom, because they're going to ask questions that because you haven't experienced it, how could you ask a question? Or maybe you're not familiar with it, right? So that's the beauty about the world that we're living in, is that we really need to be dependent, on each other, right? To manage the risk of creating something that is going to forget something or exclude something, right? So really, it really is pulling at your team's heartstrings, right? To say, hey, how can they help me? How can we all work together to contribute to make this thing richer than what it really is? So yeah, just from that one prompt, Anissa, just the way it's expressed,
Yeah.
it will give you what you want. And if you didn't give it that kind of expression in the prompt, you're just going to get a plain Jane kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm getting excited when I start talking back and saying that that's not exactly what I want. And
Right.
sometimes I'm saying that, what kind of stupid answer is this? And I remember, once Chad said that, oh, sincerely apologize, the whole paragraph. I said, I don't have time to read your apology. Please give me right a result, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing that, last version of Chat, it keeps remember your wish, right? And it collects your reaction and try to do a better job every single time.
Yeah. So this is called a chain of thought concept, right? Where it keeps the memory of what it is. And the whole point of this prompting exercise is for you to have this conversation with the AI. All right. So treat it like a friend. Like, is that what you meant? Like, how could that be wrong? That's wrong. That doesn't make sense to me. You're not seeing the pattern, right? Have you thought about this and this and this? And it goes, oh, that's a good point. Let me bring that in for you, right? So that's how you have to treat it. It's like a child that doesn't know what you want, but you have to express your innermost thinking, your assumptions, in a way that dump it in what's in your head out into the Chat GPT space, right? And it doesn't have to be Chat GPT. It could be any other LLM similar to Chat GPT, by the way. Okay?
Right. And I just would like to share a funny story which happened a couple of weeks ago. I get together with a friend of my professor from India to prepare myself for ICF final exam, right? ICF, International Coaching Federation, right? And they offer this exam in a certain little crazy format, right? So we got example of one question, and we said that, hey, chat, create another 10 questions like this in this area, and here is like basic information for you about ICF exams. And it start generating, and we start talking. And then, we had a good mood, and we start calling him, hey, metal brother, can you give me another answer? And all of a sudden, this Chat GPT says that you are metal brother yourself. It's like, what? And, I'm typing him that, do not call me metal brother. He said, no, you're actually metal brother for me, right? And it starts making fun and jokes around it.
Yeah.
Right. So it has ability even to mimic human sense of humor.
Yep.
Which is incredible.
Let's move on to a product owner now. Next slide. So here's another prompt that a product owner might be interested in. Here are the user stories from our last release. So typically, product owner is going to look at what happened, right? What's recorded in Jira potentially. Can you please summarize these into release notes? Please use only the summary and description columns, and the notes should be written for a business leader, right? Because he's going to present it up to his leader or her leader. Keep each section to a short title in bold and one sentence description of the new capability. Stay focused on the short and direct communication. And you include a Jira export into this as well, and you hit enter. And all of a sudden, it goes to town on it.
Hold on. You are doing Jira export on this.
Export. So you export from Jira like a tool, whatever tool you're using, whatever project management tool you're using. Could be Monday.com, could be Jira, could be Confluence, whatever, right?
Question: what would be your recommendation on, when you go to Jira and you export data? it's usually tab delimited format or something like this. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah. Doesn't yeah.
So you're not formatting it any further. You're just taking
The
its
raw
way it
data.
is. Let's say tab
Yeah.
delimited format.
Yeah. As
And
long
you
as
just
as
you
long as
just
it has
upload
yeah.
this file. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now I can see it.
Yeah. So again, encourage you to fiddle with that and see what you get and see what kind of results you get, and
That's
with
yeah.
that, and if you're starting to coach your product owners, right? This is great. You're helping them out because they're going to go back and take the notes and try to summarize, right? But the AI is doing it all. And then they can use that as a way to, again, keep what we call synchronous alignment going, synchronous learning going all the time, right? So just think of people coming and going into the teams, right? Business leaders coming and going into the teams. You want to be consistent in how you're summarizing this stuff and collecting this information and being consistent in the messaging. And you've got a tool that's going to help you with that, right?
Right. And also one little detail.
Mm-hmm.
When you're giving such a task to your AI tool, it's better to say what is the size, because you're giving tons of information.
Yeah.
Right. And there is a golden idea
Mm-hmm.
for each AI tool. What is the best size?
Yes.
And usually it's like
Yeah.
4 pages, let's say. And you don't need 4 pages. You probably need one paragraph.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's better to say, hey, I would like to get it one paragraph or like 120 characters or whatever, right? 400 characters.
Yep.
And it will give you pretty interesting, like if you will say 100 characters, it will be probably 390.
So we're gonna
Very close.
So Vadim, we're going to use at the end of this, close towards the end of this, we actually have a framework of 5 or 6 things that you need to do with every prompt. And one of them is exactly about that. Size. Yeah. So we'll get to that in a second. You're thinking ahead. That's great.
Yeah, I'm thinking ahead.
Okay, let's go on to Scrum Master use. And I thought this was a really interesting one. All right. So, a lot of the teams I coach, they don't seem to have a lot of agreements. They don't have value, team working agreements per se, right? So it's like it's a crapshoot, as when you go into a team and they have nothing there, and you go, well, how are you guys managing conflict? How are you getting to any way of getting people to cooperate or to align to certain things? What happens when new team members come on and leave and whatever, right? Like, what do you guys do? Like, how do you align? And they go, we have no time for this stuff, right? It takes time to regenerate all this stuff and create it. So there's this prompt that you can use. It's a team agreements protocol. And I'll show you what I did in using a tool called Google Notebook. Can you see my screen?
No.
No. Okay.
Hold on. Let me stop sharing, and probably you can start sharing.
Can you see it now?
No.
Okay. Let me.
But we can see you. I finally can see you. Awesome.
Okay. So maybe it's working now. Let's go here.
Hey, Chuba joined. Chuba, where are you joining from?
So
now we can see it. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
now you can share everything.
So what I did is I said, I'm going to plunk that protocol set of code, that instructions, into my chat in Notebook. Google Notebook, by the way, is a very powerful thing. I've gone nuts over this thing now. Anyway, and I plugged this thing in there, and I said to it, go generate it. Okay, generate an agreement called Team Raymond and generate it. So it comes back and says, oh, based on instructions in your sources, you have not provided. So I put the protocol in here and clicked enter. And it says, based on that source, buddy, you have not provided the necessary input to generate the team agreement. What do you think I am, stupid? The input you provided is just generate Team Raymond. Like, what the heck? But you didn't give me, what are the list of focus areas you want for Team Raymond, right? So I said, okay, well, I'll just make up some things here, but focus areas say on psychological safety, respect for each other, transparency, curiosity, empathy, action-oriented, courageous, innovative, right? Now, based on that, can you do something with that? And he goes, yeah, I'm ready to write the team agreements. And this is what I'm going to do. And it's team name Raymond, right? And this is what it's going to look like. And this is the format. Are you good with that? And I go, sure, generate Team Raymond now. And it comes up with this, like, as Nisa says, full end-to-end about how we should behave and what we should be doing with those things in place, right? Which you can then tweak as a Scrum Master or an Agile coach to help your team, customize it to what your team's context is, right? And you can do this over and over again with different agreements, right? Just think of what you can create with this.
I would like to add 2 cents into this, right? There are millions of ways to scan a cat, right? How to write good agreement, and over all my Agile coaching years, right? I found that you can count on me game is so powerful. And now with this kind of approach, you can simply say that, guys, we don't need to spend all hour on this. You can count on me. Just here's the homework, right? Tomorrow we are going to meet for 15 minutes only. And everyone will share 3 things, which will start with, you can count on me, right? And I will put, you can count on me on any Agile related questions. If you need any training, you can count on me on training and on one-on-one coaching. I will give them this 3 things. Then we will vote out of 3 my things what they would like to put into agreement. And then AI can easily pick up the meaning of this and put it in a totally different wording as a good team agreement. So everybody will be happy and everybody will be able to find themselves inside.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't forget, team agreements are really, really important because we're going into times where things are going to be so disruptive, right? Change is going to be happening at an alarming pace. So you want to minimize the conflict before it arises, right? So that you want to have these agreements in place to help you, minimize the time wasted in having conflict conversations. But also, you want to have a way of negotiating how you're going to manage conflict, right? And these team agreements help you with that. So,
yeah, that's an important addition, right? I love to see that a couple of points by the end of team agreement, how we are going to resolve conflicts.
Exactly.
And I'm coaching my team. Hey, let's smell, horsemen of apocalypses, right? What do we smell? And then we will rise it up and then team can solve it.
And you could carry on this conversation with the AI. You go, you know what? AI, since our last conversation, here's the notes from the last retrospective. I've just fed that to you. Now, based on what you see there and on all the other retrospective notes I've fed, what do you think we're doing wrong? Like, what should I look at? Is our team agreement outdated? Does it need updating? Is it what does it need? What do we need to do next with this? Right? And it's going to come up with your suggestions, right?
And another super important detail. Imagine that you have international team.
Yeah.
Each nationality has its own psychological craziness.
That's right.
And Americans are so much different from, let's say, I was working for Santander Bank. So like 70% of Santander Bank in Spain, right? And with this tool now, if I would have this tool when I was working for Santander, I will say, create me this Spanish psychology and Spanish language.
Yeah.
And it will give it to me, right? And then create me another version of the same agreement for New Yorkers. And for New Yorkers, by the way, it's totally different from guys from Texas.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
It's awesome stuff. And so I haven't been a developer for many years, so I'm gonna have to depend on people like Vlad and those guys. But again, code, it does a lot of code completion, right? Prompting you and telling you, hey, you missed this, or do you want me to fill that in for you? So just mention speed to coding is an interesting one. And Microsoft has something called IntelliCode, I think. And I don't know if Vlad or anybody else is familiar with any of that stuff.
Oh no, I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, so hopefully it'll pique your interest and you'll go try it out. So here's another prompt that you can run, and it's going to come and detect for you. If you're writing an SQL table or trying to create a table, and it'll detect where you made errors and stuff like that, and fix them for you.
Yeah, imagine that today on one of my projects, right, we start experimenting. It's a startup project, right? Pretty complicated with logic and everything. And we said that we need to hire a lot of programmers probably. And interesting enough that after brainstorming, we said that no, we don't need a lot of programmers. We need, instead of programmers, we need the square conductors who will be prompt engineers.
Mm-hmm.
And probably like 3 folks can build entire humongous system within a few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because power is like sky's the limit, right?
Yeah.
But you need to understand how to write code using these powerful tools, using this agent. Remember, we were talking about agent and managers of agent.
Yes. And
the main idea is, if let's say I never create anything in C++, let's say, right? C++ is not my language. I was coding a lot on Java. It's similar, but it's not the same, right? And if I will say that, hey, create me these classes on C++ and that, and connect them all, I can easily just miss a big point that something is not written right, because any platform, remember guys, this is a dangerous part. Any platform can start hallucinating at any moment. And if you're not checking the output and outcome, good luck. You can be in trouble, right? So trust AI and check out on every single outcome and output, right?
Yeah.
I mean, output, then you can generate outcome.
Yeah. So other potential cases, again, if you have QA people that are still are part of your team, right? Again, they can generate test data. The system AI can generate that test data for you without them having to do it for you. So and writing the test plans too. Using simple prompts again to speed them up, so it doesn't have to be. And then just imagine all of this information being communicated throughout the team in a very easy way. AI can do that for you as well, right? Before it's like I have to call this person or email this person to get this thing, right? Now just think of when you're trying to resolve problems, how easy it is to get information, right? So those are some use cases of how teams are using it, of how people roles are using it potentially. And if you come back to the way what a team is trying to do, so think of all those roles working together like that, and then working together as a team, to enable these outputs, right? The user stories, sprint planning, retrospectives, predictive analytics. You now start to see how the team can be much more efficient, because you're helping everybody on the individual basis with AI, And now from a team perspective, AI can help you with, now based on those outputs, how are we doing on, on our goals, for example. So, with sprint planning and so forth, right? So from a team perspective, Gen AI can help with teams as well. And then don't forget that there's also this data analysis with AI, right? Insight gathering, right? I can analyze project data like crazy, identify patterns in the data, and prioritize issues. So, for example, let's suppose you're working with a Scrum Master and the retrospective has been completed, and you want to understand, what does the team want to improve on. You can look at the retrospective data from the other sprints, right? You can look at any other data available in Jira from how the sprints ran and stuff like that, and it's going to start to create connections between the patterns, how long things are taking, where's their backlogs in the team, when it comes to what types of stories, that kind of stuff, which was hard to get from the teams, right? And just imagine having this helping you understand those patterns better, and then prioritizing them for you, and then suggesting improvements for things you should do. Like, what the heck, right? So what a wonderful way to improve the productivity of teams and improve their performance. What else? So here are some real world AI examples that you can see here. Code assistance we talked about, predictive analytics we talked about, automated testing, so end-to-end automated testing, workforce planning, Talentsoft, for example, using AI to match skills with project needs, right? Is anybody doing that in companies today? Hopefully they are, to predict, what teams are going to need in their roadmaps, right?
I didn't quite understand. GitHub Copilot provide real-time code suggestions. So when exactly when you as a developer need your code or merge your code?
So so it's going to help you with code completion, right? Code complexity and code completion, and it'll break it down for you and say, oh, your code's too complex, why don't you try this? And then you try that, and wow, so it's going to provide real-time code suggestions, real-time, right? None of this waiting, right?
And what does it mean? Facebook profit predicts bugs.
Yes, so it can predict. So you can look at your charts, right? Look at the how certain issues like team improvement, like patterns and trends in the tools, for example, related to the content, right? And you can understand the importance of those issues, such that they see that this team's taking long, and based on this team taking long, they seem to be having. I can predict that these particular types of tasks, the team has historically been long in doing those things, and therefore in the next sprint they're going to take long doing these things because you're repeating the same types of tasks again, right? And maybe nobody's had time to address it, right? So things that are not as explicit, it can actually create and find those patterns for you, right? So that you can forecast how the sprint is going to be potentially, right? So think of the burn down charts and the burn up charts, right? When you're burning down on the number of points, whatever, it's going to do a bit of that AI intelligence there. I don't think you're gonna hit the sprint, the end of the sprint goal, or the end of the sprint based on your current projection, right? So it's doing some analysis there for you and helping you understand that if you didn't have time to look at that. So it's going to really connect the dots between complexity, skill, and areas of improvement. And it's going to analyze labels to identify areas related to system performance and scalability. Okay. And then what do we need to be careful about? So earlier on, we talked about the human interaction, right? The human approach, human-centered approach. And this is really, really important, guys, because while the tools are powerful enough, they have limitations and they have risks, right? So there's ethical concerns that AI models are trained on internet data, which can be biased, right? And you know, bias is a human condition. And so we need a way of managing or mitigating bias, right? What about over automation? As Vadim, you had mentioned to me earlier on, yeah, maybe I won't start talking to my teammates anymore because I'm going to rely on AI doing all the work, right? But you still need a human in the loop, right, to make sure that it makes sense. Because remember, the AI model, the AI agents, they're just going to do what you tell them to do. They're not going to make or recognize the pattern or what you're assuming should happen in there. So your assumptions aren't going to be explicit enough. So over automation could be a problem there. And limited validation. AI can generate inaccurate or fabricated information. We call these hallucinations sometimes, right? It may not indicate when it lacks information. It may be described as being confident but wrong, meaning human beings need to be in charge when using these tools. So human oversight is really critical for validating AI-generated content, for the accuracy and for quality and security, and of course, for privacy, confidentiality issues. So that still is a work in progress. And whenever we're embarking on any AI project, there needs to be an oversight as to what's the intervention frequency and so forth when we're looking at information. And so examples of AI failures, you may have heard of some of these before. Microsoft in 2016, as it says on the chart there, they apologized for creating an artificially intelligent chatbot that quickly turned into a Holocaust-denying racist. And it's now offline, but it was designed to learn from interactions it had with real people in Twitter. And so seizing on that opportunity, some users decided to feed it all these different offensive remarks and information. Another example is Google in 2024. Google apologized after Gemini generated racially diverse Nazis. Like, where's the human in the loop on that one, right? In Amazon in 2015, it had a disproportionate number of males on staff, and its recruitment tool was not rating candidates for developer jobs and other technical positions in a gender neutral way. So it was trained by vet applicants or people who had been there in the company by observing patterns in resumes submitted over 10 years. And most of those came from men. So you can see how these examples, are examples of AI failures. We're not out of the woods. There are risks, and we do have to manage them. IBM Watson, for example, providing the wrong information to oncology specialists, right? Or a Clearview AI, which is now in trouble in Europe and in Canada for privacy facial recognition pictures, right? So we're not out of the woods when it comes to AI failures. They are there and they're happening. So what can you take away from this? What are some of the best practices that you can take away? So Vadim, you had referred to this earlier on. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 areas, and we've added the 7th one in there. So consider confidentiality, right? What are you releasing into the AI engine itself? Maybe it's confidential. Specify the role that you want that agent to play. You are an expert in XYZ, or a seasoned, professional in ABC, whatever it is, right? Define your audience. Who's this for? It's for business leadership. It's for the presidents, for the CIO office. So it's going to do a style based on who your audience is going to be. provide context, right? It can't do anything unless you tell it what you want, or what's it based on, right? What kind of format should it be in, and how long should it be, as you were saying, Vadim, right? And something else at the end that you can also do is, what constraints or boundaries should it consider, right? Vadim, you had some examples on that, I think.
Right. See, there are a lot of time I've seen people using AI and getting a little lazy, saying, "Oh, I need to create this email, that email," and no context. And then says that, okay, here's my audience, and here what I would like to say, and then blindly copy paste, and then, oh my Lord, what did I say? Right? Because you didn't provide context, you didn't specify
Right.
size, and you didn't check it out.
Yeah.
So, I would probably add that always, all the time, 100%, read, think about it, and probably even get your pair buddy, right, to see what is the outcome and make a decision. If it's important email, important material you're sending out, my point will be the best practices: love UI, do not trust UI fully. Right? Check it out. Remember that if it starts hallucinating in the worst possible moment, and you blindly let it fly, right, you will be responsible, even legally responsible.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Because
this is a good snapshot of a prompting framework that you can use, right? When you're putting in a prompt, take it through this, almost like, the acronym for a user story, INVEST, right? You need to create an acronym for prompting and keep it in your mind, right? That you can reference all the time, and then share with others as well.
That's a good idea, by the way. We need to check it out on ChatGPT. What kind of acronym it will create for us.
Exactly.
And then we can publish it and copyright.
Or maybe, or maybe it becomes a little poem that you can use, right? Or a saying or something, right? and ChatGPT can do that very well. You can tell it, I want to create a song about my team, right? But I don't know. Here's some behaviors they do, right? Go create a song, and it will go and create a rap song that is just blows your brain out of the water, like with good music and good beat and rhythm and all that stuff. It's just amazing, right?
Right. Somebody, a couple of days ago, somebody took Pushkin poetry. Pushkin, one of the most famous poet in the history of Russian literature, right? And stick it into AI and said that create a rap music around it and create like little video. It was so funny. I almost fall on the floor, right?
Yeah.
But it was like pretty good quality.
And again, so it's really helping us to be creative and resourceful, isn't it? So think of some of the problems that you may have encountered in the past, where teams go, "Oh, it's just another retrospective." Well, you can be creative with AI. Give me a list of some creative ways that I can, enable a retrospective here to make the team excited and make sure it's exciting and fun. What can I do, right? And it's going to come up with suggestions.
Yeah, what I did, my personal experience, right? We are running one of these projects. Startups, right? Several startups asked me and my students and participants of Success Church Academy, right, to join and help them. And it was one of this awesome fellow, technical director in IT, and he had a little problem with his emotional, I would say, style, and we start calling him openly, right, for the sake of fun. We said that, "Oh, you're dragon slayer. You're running this horse and start, slaying dragons and us together with dragons, right?" So for retrospective, I asked AI to generate a picture of my IT director on a horse fighting with a huge dragon, and we invite him in. He said, "Oh, This is me.
Can do it based on actual people, because I was generating something for retro this week, and I asked to generate meme for a comedy because it was based on movies, the retro team, and I want to see Adam Sandler and Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it says that it cannot do actual people.
You mean it can't do
How
deep fakes yet? It can do deep fakes. It can do
It
deep
cannot
fakes.
do images of actual people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, it depends on what platform you're using.
Yes, it really
In
does.
Midjourney, let's say,
ChatGPT.
no, ChatGPT is very, very, very obedient to boundaries, but and it's actually to a crazy extent, which is good and bad at the same time. If
Do
you
some
think
research, Slava. Do some research. Just say to ChatGPT, what tools can I use that are not ChatGPT oriented that will give me this outcome using this thing?
Okay. I just wonder how many subscriptions I need to buy, because I buy subscription to ChatGPT. How many other subscriptions I need?
Make sure it's free too as well. You put it on there. Make sure it's free for me.
Oh, I have not free ChatGPT. I'm paying for it. I mean, it's worth it, but
Well, hey, and the surprise on the news, right? In the news, DeepSeek is free. Hello.
well, I don't know if I can trust it.
Well, yeah, that's one thing too. And then the second thing too is that it's only as far as 2023. ChatGPT and those guys go up to 2024 at least.
No, they're actually current now.
Are they? Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
because
good.
I just asked it for, just before this meeting, I just asked it for Outlook for Tesla stock, and it just gave me latest earnings that
good.
just came out today.
Okay, that's good. All right. So next steps, if you want to try some of this stuff out, start small, maybe with a retrospective. That's the cool part. It gives you insights that you never had before. And experiment, try different prompts, conversation styles, explore some tools. Maybe some various platforms out there. ChatGPT is not the only place you need to go, guys. There are many different types of LLMs out there, and that's just one of hundreds. And then stay informed. Keep learning about AI. Part of learning about AI is going to be something that is informal and formal. So just because you took an AI course and got certified, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be relevant later on, because AI is disrupting itself on a continuous basis, and the knowledge in that space and the functionality is changing all the time. So you use that only as a stepping stone to continuously get more information and educate yourself and get familiarized with what AI is doing and where it's at. So this is an ongoing journey, and it's a continuous journey in learning. This is what AI is going to be doing for us. With that, I just want to say thank you. And if you have any questions, I'll hang around for a few minutes.
Yes, and I would like to share a screen for Mentimeter. Remember, for another important slide, we called it. What is your takeaways? Hold on, let me bring it up. Okay, guys, and here we go. Let me share a little link. So please go to this link. And then I will share. Yeah, and by the way, I shared a Google Doc. If somebody feel uncomfortable to share contact information, thank you guys for those of you who feel comfortable, like me. I feel always comfortable to share my LinkedIn profile, even my phone number. Go ahead, please. But if somebody feel uncomfortable, I myself and Ramet, we created Google form, and I shared the link to this Google form, so it will go directly to me, and nobody can see it, and then we can get connected, right? And here we go. The last Mentimeter link. Yes.
Thank you, Nisa. That's great.
Thank you. Yeah. LinkedIn invites is wonderful. So, guys, click this Mentimeter link, and answer this question. What is your takeaways? And let me share the screen, and let's see what will be the answer. We would love to see an input from every one of you, not just from Raymond and myself. It wouldn't be fair. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
And this is you guys standing in the top of the mountain and can see a huge landscape in front of you. So each tree is just different AI technique and different AI platform. So you have like whole ocean of opportunities here.
Cool.
So nobody answered so far.
Vadim, what ICF certification are you getting ready for? ACC?
ICF certification? No, I'm PCC actually.
Oh, PCC. Oh, very nice.
Right. And if you would like to find some details, I can provide you. A bunch.
I'm starting with my ACC in a couple of months with tandem coaching.
Okay. Yeah. But I feel it's like a little waste of time and effort, because by the end of the day you will go to PCC anyway, right? Next level. So you can go direct.
You have to get ACC to get to PCC, right?
No, not necessarily. You can go forward, like straightforward.
Well, my goal is ACTC. It's advanced coaching for whatever certification it is. So it's most among ACC. I'm sorry, among ICF. It's would be the most useful for Agile coaches, and you need to have at least ACC in order to get it.
Right. But
You
again,
need to apply for it.
I mean, there are millions of ways to skin a cat. So
Hey, I don't want to skin my cat. Wait a second.
Yeah. Not Raymond's cat, by the way. Okay, guys. Only 2 people answer. Hey, please.
Yeah, let us know how we did, guys.
Hey.
This is an experiment in getting the knowledge of how AI can be applied. And if you're interested in more, maybe we can do more. But I need to get your feedback.
I enjoyed it. I answered.
Oh, great.
But I liked how you were very thorough from like beginning to end, and how each person, product owner, project manager, all the different areas it can be used in. So I really appreciate that. This was like the 3rd meetup on AI in project management that was this week, and one I had to miss, but the other one was interesting because this one I felt was very thorough, but she did touch on how they would take an epic and put it into ChatGPT and build out their user stories and stuff like that. But I felt like you were very thorough and to the point of each step of who can use it and when. So I appreciate that.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But what Raymond is offering, if you guys are interested, he can prepare, and I would love to participate and help him out to make deeper dive onto the topic.
Yeah.
So let us know if you are interested. You know how to connect.
The one where he used the Google Notebook, that was really interesting, and you kind of went through it, and I'm like, wait, I wanted to, like, I really would have liked to have been able to, like, poke around with you on that.
It's quite amazing. I started out like this, and all of a sudden I went like this.
Yeah, and it was just interesting because I was just like, wait, I can't keep up, You know, I'm like, wait, like, ooh, that would be fun to play with. And I don't know Google Notebook. You just told me tonight about it. So yeah,
Yeah.
have to play with it.
Yeah, it's free, so you can use it, right? And it's it's great for people who are always doing research or testing something out, an idea, or maybe it's you're accumulating information, but you want to keep it ready and available, and then you want the AI test it, right, to see if it can be applied to different contexts, or whatever. So I have like, oh my God, notebooks on everything from everything to do with safe to like Gen AI to like companies I'm talking to coaching to transformation.
Mapping. Oh, sorry. I'm like, well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. What you do is you write it. Can you go back to the other screen? Do you write it in an Excel document and then you upload it, or you did it right? I was a little confused.
Yeah.
So what
I think, Nisa Joy, you can do it if you have, let's say you have 5 different Excel spreadsheets with data. You can easily say that I'm uploading all of this 5, right? And then I'm writing little explanations that, hey, chat, this spreadsheets are about this team and that team and da 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 da. And you can start talking to this AI platform like you will talk to Raymond.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so like on the Raymond, I'm sure you explain it. So it looks like on the left, the sources is where you can upload your source. Chat is what comes from the notebook.
Yeah.
And then you enter everything on the right, or I'm a little confused.
So this is all in the notebook itself, right? So I told it, I want you to think only about this source I'm adding in here. So I took the prompt of the protocol code and put it in there, right?
Okay.
And then what I did is I made it a note here to myself, just for information, and then I pasted it into the chat here, right here.
Got it.
Right.
Okay. Now
this is where the AI engine starts to act and go, oh, you want something out of it? I'm going, yeah, let's have a conversation. So I'm chatting about it, right? And here's what's going to blow you away, Nisa. Okay.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm
ready.
ready.
You ready?
I'm
sitting
sitting
down?
down.
Sit down because you can fall.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sitting down.
This thing called audio overview.
Yeah.
It can generate a live conversation between 2 people on the source that you have been talking about in here, like as though somebody's doing a podcast.
Oh, wow. Oh my
Right?
goodness.
So just
And you can say, hey, I would like you to generate like 10 minutes of this dialogue because I have only 10 minutes to go to Subway, and within 10 minutes you will listen to this dialogue.
And here's what's funny about this whole thing. When you generate the conversation, you play it back, right? It gives you the opportunity to interject when the conversation is going on. So it says something like, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's a lovely place, and it's called X, right? And I'm going, no, interject. It's not called X. It's called X and Y. And then they come back and they go, thank you for that information. Yes, we should call it properly. We should call it X and Y.
Hilarious.
It's funny. But just
amazing.
think of fun you can have with this, right? Blogging and stuff like that. So it's an ongoing experiment, obviously, with Google, but I love it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So experiment away.
Yeah, this is awesome. And I look forward to future chats. But I actually have to jump because I have another meetup at 8 and I need to take a little break.
Yeah. Wow, you have one meetup after another. That's super strong meetup.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Guys, we love you. So we will try to keep our like regular cadence once in a sprint.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. By the way, Raymond, did you hear this week OpenAI announced that they were basically unveiling ChatGPT for government?
Oh, that's cool.
That was supposed to be more secure. Like, for example, now I work in government space and ChatGPT. So basically, if I need to prep something, I do it on my personal computer and I review it and I resend it to work. So I don't know if government would start trusting it immediately, because there are a lot of things, like,
Mm.
for example, in my work, so I work for Department of Treasury, and we can only use generally applications from Microsoft.
My
Because
Copilot. Yeah.
well, no, well, I don't think we have Copilot. I don't think we
Oh.
can use Copilot, but anything. So, like, I cannot use Miro. So I
Mhm.
create my retrospectives in Miro, and
Mhm.
I transfer them into whiteboard on Teams,
Okay. Okay.
which is, like, I would say, like a very primitive version of Miro.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of limitations. So I wonder how long it would take for federal government to start, well, for
Mm.
this application to prove to be trustworthy.
So they probably are, they're balanced the other way, right? About security and privacy. So you got to have a lot more regulatory battles there, I imagine. But small experiments is what they can take, and that's the way to do these things. Very small experiments, because you don't want to excite them too much, right?
Well, it's not entirely up to us, but Sam Altman, right? So he said this week that they
Mhm.
unveiling
Yeah.
ChatGPT for government,
Mhm.
and so, which supposedly not going to share all this data that you
Right.
put into it.
Yeah.
This it would not put it in a database.
Yeah, so the idea is to create, every company needs to have its own LLM that they can then create, protect their own privacy, protect their own patents and all that wonderful stuff, right? And that's the way to go, is to use it within and not to go and use it in the public setting. Yeah.
Well, so basically, it's supposed to or get information from the externally, but it should not. Maybe it should update information locally,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yes.
not externally.
That's right. That's why Google Notebook, when you think about it, is in a way doing some of that. You actually tell what sources that are reliable, and maybe it's on your computer, and that's where they sit. So you tell it. So you create your own little ecosystem, right? That's protected and confidential, and then it's the way you think about that concept that gets nurtured in that notebook, so that the AI model now starts to think like you in that model, in that notebook. And that's what you want. That's your style. That's what you've learned. That's what you've acquired, right? And that's the true you coming out. And that's why I like this thing, because it's really customized to how you are. Yeah. So go experiment. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for all this information, and I'm looking forward to rewatching this after Vadim will post it, because I'm pretty sure I may have blinked once or twice. So
Yeah.
Vadim
It
is
takes time to digest. Yeah. It
great.
takes time to digest. It's a lot of information. Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. Thank you, gentlemen. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Okay. Good night.
Thank you, guys. You're awesome.